Terry Blackburn here. I have a property portfolio worth over £10 million. I've built and sold multiple companies, some in seven-figure deals. I wrote two successful books, one won awards all over the world. All of these awards behind me are national and international awards for some of my companies. Coach people one-on-one, and I run masterminds. Now, if you like what I talk about in this session, if you listen to my podcast, you follow us on Instagram, you follow the YouTube page, if you like what I talk about and I resonate with you and you can relate to me, jump on my website, which is terryblackburnproperty.com. All of the different services that I have is on there. I'd love to work with you and I'd love to help you get to where you want to be, whether that's in property, whether that's in business, whether it's in sales, goal setting, whatever it is that you want to achieve and want to learn. I'm your man. Enjoy the rest of the episode and speak soon.
So, hello everybody. So, today we're going to do a little bit different type of a live. So, I want to make it a little bit interactive and I want to give you my view on what I think and where I think the opportunities are for 2025. So, loads of people are talking about this at the minute. There's some changes coming, there's some legislation changes coming in property. So, let's talk about my view on it and let's talk about what you can do off the back of this session, how you can find some opportunities, whether that's property and business or both. What you can do, how you can take action, and how you can start to make some progress. So, the opportunities. Let's start with property first. So, wrong colour. Let's get back on there. So, property, first of all. So, there's something coming in April called the Renters Reform Bill. You've probably heard of it. I must admit, my view on all this legislation stuff is you don't need to be that well versed in it. You don't need to read up on it and learn everything about it. The two main things that are going to affect property investors, but I actually think it's a positive, is they're going to get rid of no-fault evictions. Okay, so you can't just kick somebody out of your property without a reason. They're going to be behind on rent or something. And they're talking about bringing in a rent cap. Okay, so famous quote, I think it's Warren Buffett, says that when others are fearful, you be greedy, and when others are greedy, you be fearful. So what I think is going to happen with this, when it kicks in April, the media, the lovely media who we all trust so much, are going to come out and start to say, and people online are going to start to say it, buy-to-let's dead, property doesn't work anymore, property's too hard to make money, it's too risky, the tenants have got too many rights, you can't make as much money in property as you used to be able to, right? That's going to come. I'll put money on that's going to come around about April time. But then people are going to be fearful, right? So that's when that's the time to be greedy. I'm going to push on big time. I'm going to buy more assets than normal this year as soon as everyone starts to flap about it. Because when everyone starts to flap about it, what's that going to do? There's going to be still the same amount of stock on the market. Maybe it's even more if landlords sell off. There's going to be loads of stock on the market, but some investors are going to stop buying, or they're going to hold back a little bit. They're going to be a little bit hesitant, right? So what's that going to do? There's opportunity there. What this is also going to do, in my opinion, by the way, because loads of landlords will exit and they'll think, tenants have got too many rights, this is not for me anymore, I'm going to exit. So there's less stock on the market, therefore rents are going to go up. So I'm looking at this as a massive opportunity, not a negative, right? It'll squeeze out the less professional landlords and it'll keep the professional landlords, the people that want to do this properly. There's going to be an opportunity. That's what I foresee happening. I think it's a definite. I think this is definitely going to happen. I hope people online start to say that property doesn't work anymore, property's dead, all of that crap, because it's just going to create opportunity, right? So watch out for that. It's only a couple of months away. So that's one opportunity for sure. There's going to be more stock on the market and rents are going to go up when there's less stock on the market. I think another one for sure, and I'm seeing this personally, I've got a chat with an angel investor actually this afternoon. There's going to be more angels, right? And I'll tell you why I think that is because people aren't going to lose all the money, right? When this Renters Reform Bill comes in. People are still going to have money, right? But some people who were investing in property are going to hold off. Therefore, they've still got money, therefore there's an opportunity, isn't there? I'm seeing an increase in inquiry. People are just contacting me about angel investment on the regular, and more than sort of last year for some reason, certainly the start of this year, is that market. I mean, the rates went down yesterday, base rate went down, saving rates have went down a touch. There's going to be an opportunity for angels, right? And if there's less people investing and you're investing, and the people who invest in others, they're still going to be there, right? So you need to continue to show up. How do you find the angels? social media, network, and utilize your contacts. And I say this a lot on my podcast, get on the pitch. Yeah? You can't score the goal unless you're on the pitch. But what people do is they put a couple of posts on social media and expect someone to contact them. But you've got to show up regular. You've got to get yourself on the pitch. You've got to produce content, do social media, network, get around people with money in order to get the angels. They're not going to just come to you unless you've done it a long enough time. Okay? So I definitely think there's an opportunity for angel investors, more to come to the market, and if you're in the market and you're visible and they can see you online and in person, then there's an opportunity. Okay? I think there's always an opportunity for these pretty much flips. And I'm going to say assisted sales as well. So everyone knows what a flip is. Buy a property, do it up, sell it at a profit, right? They are there in every location, at every price point, in every part of the country. So I'm heavily doing flips. I did 6 last year, we're probably going to do 8 this year. So a little tip on that is bungalows, because typically bungalow buyers are people who are downsizing and they are cash buyers. Typically, okay? People are there's always going to be first time buyers, there's always going to be home movers, there's always going to be people going up or going down in size of property, regardless of rates, regardless of renters reform bill, regardless of the economy, that's always going to be there. So if you can find properties at a discount, negotiate them at a good rate, keep your refurb costs under control, you're going to make money in flips. Yeah? Assisted sales is something that I teach quite heavily on my one-to-one customers and my mastermind, which is effectively you find a property that's run down. It's typically been on the market for some time. You approach the vendor and you say, right, I can give you that 150 grand that you want, but I need to refurb the property. You refurb the property at your cost, you then resell it on at a profit. You still give the vendor what they want, and you make the uplift. You make the difference from what you've agreed to pay them for what you sell it for. So key to them is finding them that have been on the market for some time, that need work, negotiate them well, keep your refurb costs under control, but you make 25 grand plus on them all day long. Likewise for them. So they are always going to be there, regardless of what the media say, regardless of what others say about property, they are going to be there no matter what. Another strategy that I'm doing quite a lot of is HMOs. Again, my view on HMOs, they're always going to be there. People are always going to want an in-between renting a full property and just renting a room. There's always going to be students, there's always going to be doctors and nurses and contractors and people who want just a room, people in between contracts, people in between jobs, people who broke up with the partner. Like, they're always going to be there, right? So HMOs, and I think the last one for property is social media. Not social media, social housing. Social housing for sure, because the Renters Reform Bill doesn't apply to these. The social housing stuff is typically where Mia's, Serco, Ready Homes, one of the main companies, will give you a long-term contract on your property, a guaranteed rent, and it's irrelevant of the tenants. They're going to pay you the rent regardless of who's in there. So if you are worried about the Renters Reform Bill, you could easily just do a social housing strategy. Typically they're lower price because you go into the rougher areas, and you can simply purchase, as long as the social housing provider has got demand for that location, you're laughing. Yeah, so there's never a wrong time to buy a property. There's only the wrong strategy. Some buy-to-lets, over 150 grand, really don't stack anymore a lot of the time because interest rates, they just don't. If you add up the voids and the maintenance, a lot of the time the lower value buy-to-lets do. If you do buy, refurbish, refinance, it's different. There's obviously nuances and variances to anything, but certain strategies are tough at the minute. Certain strategies are a lot better. Okay, so that's the property opportunities that I foresee. So let's talk about business. I've got 11 companies. If you know who I am and know my story, you'll know I'm big into business. How I made all my money was in business, building companies, sold 2 companies. I made a lot of money in business and I've continued to do that. But in terms of business opportunities that I foresee, you can't ignore this one, right? You cannot ignore it. It's too big to ignore. If you're not using AI in your businesses to speed things up, you're missing a trick. There's all of the standard stuff, the ChatGPT that everybody knows. There's the new one, DeepSeek, which I'm not using because I don't trust the Chinese. But there's loads. There's ones that do images. There's ones that do videos. There's ones that do research for you. There's ones that you can plug into your business to do pretty much anything at the minute. If you're creating content for social media, you can use AI. If you want to speed up a process, if you want to do admin, if you want to, we were using it the other day to write a manual. So a manual for the business with everything about the business. So it's like a step-by-step guide for the staff to use. We used ChatGPT and it wrote it in 20 seconds. Once you give it enough prompt, it's a fantastic tool to scale quicker, to do more, to save money, be more efficient. If there's a business opportunity in AI, which there definitely will be, and there'll be more and more you see coming up, can you use AI to find property deals? Can you use AI to work out the numbers on property? There's going to be an AI opportunity around property for sure. It can't not. But anything to do with AI, if you're not that well versed on it, and I would jump in. Just get used to ChatGPT and start to use it in any business that you're doing, and think about, can you save money or time by using AI? We use it heavily across all companies now. Honestly, it's unbelievable. That thing alone, ChatGPT, the main one, is just out of this world. Can do presentations for you. I mean, I was using it the other day for a diet plan, right? So I said, I weigh this much. This is what the result I want to get to. So then I put, right, well, I want you to write me a fitness plan, a training plan. Wrote the training plan. I said, right, I want to drop my calories to this, and I want a diet plan. Done a diet plan. I said, right, well, with that diet plan, I want you to now put it into a shopping list so I can then order it online. It literally done the diet plan and then put it into a shopping list. So, like, it's honestly, it can do fucking anything. It's amazing, and that's just one example. Nothing to do with business, but you get the point. Open your mind to it and be creative and jump in with it. Okay? I do see a massive opportunity, and it's still not being used very well. Social media. If you're not doing enough socials, if you're not posting once a day, honestly, you need to. Think about our kids. Are they going to use more of social media or less of social media? It's 100% going to be more. In 10 years' time, are we all going to be using more of social media or less of social media? It's going to be more. Everything is on there. All the angels, all the deals, all the landlords, all the potential JV business partners, everything is on there. Whatever you sell in any business that you're involved in, your customers are on there. So if you're still putting it off, like, you've just got to embrace it, man. You've just got to embrace social media. Building a personal brand, I think, pretty much non-negotiable. It's getting to that point. The more you do on social media, you're building a brand. The opportunities that I get just from my social media is mental. I've had a flip since it was last year where it's projecting around about 130 grand profit. I've had literally into the millions now of JV opportunities and business partners and angel investment just from my Instagram. And I'm not exaggerating, I can prove it. It's over 2 million in fact. Into JV partnerships and businesses that I've set up where they funded it, who found me on social media. That's not including the coaching clients I've had, the book sales that I've had. Honestly, it's crazy. So whatever you do, whatever business you're involved in, building a personal brand, I believe is key. Richard Branson's got more followers than Virgin. Elon Musk's got more followers than Tesla. Like, personal brands are where it's at. And if you want to scale property or business, this is a great way to do it. And you've just got to embrace social media. I know you're probably thinking to yourself, I don't like it. You know, it's not for me. I hate putting myself on camera. Yeah, I didn't either. But you just got to embrace it, man. You've just got to embrace it. So, and the last opportunity in terms of business, I would say anything. I'm not that good with tech, right? But if you had a tech, when you think about setting up a new business, what you've got to consider is it a dying industry, or is it something that's going to get better and improve and grow? Pretty much most things to do with tech and mixed with AI are going to grow. Yeah, I think this honestly is bulletproof. I think that in itself, growing a brand on social media, growing your businesses on social media, it's crazy not to do it, in my opinion. You're using tech for all these things, right? Using AI, using whatever it is to speed up the time that it takes to do viewing, speed up the time it takes to run numbers, speed up the time it takes to do whatever, and get more well known on social media can only help, can only draw people in. Yeah? So, a couple of last tips just around how to find these opportunities. So, for me, right, there's only really 3 things that you need to do if you want to find more property deals. If you simplicity and speed wins, right, in business and in property. If you simplify what you're doing and you do it quickly, simplicity and speed, you win. Simplicity and speed equals a wealthy, successful person. So simplicity plus speed equals big dosh. You can do what you're doing and you can simplify it, so therefore you can make more progress quicker, and you're doing it with speed, you're going to win, right? So, in terms of finding property deals, there's only 3 things. 3 is actually dependent upon the person. But number 1 is you've got to spend time researching deals, right? And whether that's spending some time on Rightmove, whether that's speaking to some estate agents, whether it's putting some offers in, you've got to, speaking of deal sources, sending out letters, you've got to prospect, you've got to find deals, and this is non-negotiable. Even if you don't have the money right now, right, all your money's locked in deals, or you don't have the money to buy a deal yet, you've got to analyse deals each and every week. Non-negotiable. Even if you don't have the money, because if you find the deal without the money, you can find the money. Yeah? You've got to just allocate maybe 2 hours a week on Rightmove, looking through deals. Right? You can't skip the reps, right? Whether you've got the money to buy or not. Number 2 is you've got to do viewings and offers. Whether you do the viewings yourself, or you've got a team member, or you're paying someone to do the viewings for you, you cannot skip those reps. You can't find property and buy property without doing those 2 things. But what people do is they'll do a little bit of Rightmove here, a little bit of Zoopla there, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You've got to block time in your diary specifically for these 2 things. I would set a target personally. We always used to do this, and we still do this. My staff do all my viewings now. I do the odd one. But I set a target that we do a minimum of, at the minute, it's only 5 viewings per week. Non-negotiable. At one point it was 20. Yeah? But they've got a target, so they know, right, well, they've got to spend some time on Rightmove and Zoopla and whatever to find deals to then book the viewings in, and there's 5 as a target, because I know if we do 20 viewings a month, we're going to secure at least 1 deal. I've been buying more than one or more property every month for probably the last 3 or 4 years. And because we're doing this. You can't do that without doing this. And then depending if you've got the money, always look for money. So that's angels. That's putting yourself on social media, that's going to network events. Like, I'm still raising money now, and I've got a few quid in the bank. Like, you should really be looking for money. Unless you've got shit in millions and millions sitting in the bank, then you don't need to look for money. But you should always be looking for deals, and you should always be looking for money. That's how you get, because I'm simplifying this, aren't I? You could go down all the different strategies and letters and ads and all this, but I just spend 10 on Rightmove looking for deals. When you found the deals, you do the viewings and you make offers. Really, really simple. Anyone can do that. And then you're always looking for money. Social media, networking, utilising your contacts, sending out deal packs, mixing with people, getting yourself around money. And if you just do those 3 things, you're going to find, whether it's buy-to-lets, whether it's BRR, whether it's HMO, whether it's social housing, whether it's flips, whether it's assisted sales, whether it's lease options, you're going to find them if you're on the pitch. And it can be as simple as that. Don't believe the nonsense that you hear on social media about you need to do all these weird and wonderful things just to find property deals, because a lot of the time you don't. Like, a lot of the time you don't. You've just got to do the basics, and you've got to do the simple things at speed, in volume, consistently. And if you do that, man, honestly, you're going to win. Sometimes the answer isn't, let's do something weird and wonderful and creative. Sometimes the answer, just do more of what you're doing. Do it a little bit simpler, and do it a little bit quicker. That's a lot of the time actually the answer. In terms of finding business deals, I bought 2 businesses, but I'm not one of those people that goes out looking to buy businesses. If it's presented itself and if the numbers stack, I do it. I bought the glamping site, the cafe, and I also bought the hotel, which is both active businesses. So I'm not going to go through that. I think let's focus on property. Let's simplify it. Time on Rightmove, viewings, and looking for money. And if you do that for the rest of 2025, you're going to nail it. You're going to do more than last year, and you're going to probably achieve the goals that you want. Okay? Last thing I would say, if you need some help, shoot us a DM on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll see if I can help you personally with your situation, whatever it is that you're up to, and I'll see how I can help. Because I want to reach out to more people. I've got more things coming up. I'm helping more. I'm building a community. We're doing more stuff at the minute. which is all going to be announced soon enough. But shoot us a message. I'm happy to see if I can help you. But remember, simplicity and speed equals money in progress. Yeah, that's it. So thanks for listening. I don't know how many people can't see, but hope you've enjoyed it. Take action today. Get after it. Simplicity and speed.